Now, there was a lot of reaction to the Liberal government's budget. The 2017 budget is trying to work more in the favor of families. This is what our Prime Minister says. So, one of the things that they came out with is that child care benefits are going to be a little bit more flexible for those of us who have taken mat leave. The tradition in my generation has been a year off. You get unemployment insurance, which is about 55%. Now they're saying you can actually, families can actually take up to 18 months. So we had 12 months, you can now take up to 18 months. However, the amount of benefits you are going to get is going to go down. So it'll be about 33%. So whereas the max payout used to be $543 a week, that would go down if you chose to take 18 months to $362 a week, okay? So I put it out there because we've got so many parents in the audience with babies. Some of them, maybe they're going to have more. And there were very strong opinions. So Beata, I'm going to you first. You say the 18-month childcare leave, you would take advantage of this. Why?
Well, absolutely. I think it's worth pinching pennies and saving because I have the rest of my life to work, but this time when they're little is just, it only happens once, so it's worth it.
And I hear that from so many parents. We do have a whole lifetime to work if you're, lucky enough to stay in your job, so why not take advantage? Then there's Jacqueline, who says something very different. Jacqueline, how do you feel about it?
Well, this is baby number 3 for me, so I think that I would rather have quality over the quantity. So with the extra money, I can do activities with all of my children and more mom and baby programs in the 12 months than I could have in the 18.
So you see, it's really going to be one of those situations where it's what is happening with your family and what is happening with your daycare. I know from my perspective, from 12 to 18 months, we couldn't find a daycare for Sydney. So it was my mom that bridged that gap for us. So she came down to our house every day and helped until we got to 18 months and could get him into a daycare center. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this. So we're past the maternity leave stage, but Stacey, if you had this, when your babies were younger, do you think this is something you would have taken advantage of?
No, I would not have, but my situation is a little different. I'm essentially self-employed, running a business. I personally would go crazy at 18 months, like being home full time. That's just my personality. I love that there's options. I think every family's different, like you said. I had no family here, so I had to organize childcare. I wanted to go back at around 8 months. My huge advantage was I controlled my hours and my schedule. I could go home and feed at, breastfeed at lunch and come back to work. So I was very part-time, and to me, part-time option is the ideal. We've all been there with little babies. All day is not the most exciting time. You know, to have a little break, go use your brain in a different way, have some adult conversations. I love that there's an option.
That is such a good point. We actually put it out there to our viewers and did a poll, and 61% of you said, yes, I would take advantage of this.
Interesting.
And 39% said no. And I think what keeps coming up again and again is the money. Money is tough. When you take a mat leave, already you're having to scale back and make it work for your family. So having that money go down even more could be tough. But then again, childcare costs a lot too. So how about you, Janice?
I already chose to go back early with both my first two. I didn't want to miss it on my job. I didn't want to miss it on that. My belief was that, I would have the weekends, I would still have quality time with my kids. And to me, it was very important to be there to get my career to a point where I could be there after school for my kids. So that's, at this age now, I'm there picking up my kids from school. We've got homework, we've got quality time. What happens during the day, a lot more personality. That's what I love.
Good stuff.